Hi friends, today I'm here to share with you my Fantasyathon TBR. I was looking for a readathon to participate in April, and then I saw Julie's announcement slash TBR video. It was just her TBR, and I kind of missed the announcement, but then some of the other hosts did an announcement slash TBR video. So basically, if you don't know, Fantasyathon is hosted by Julie, Maddie, and Allie, and it's running from April 5th to April 15th. So there's like 11 days, and there are 7 challenges, and they have a Twitter. That's really all I know. So I never watched Allie's videos before for some reason, but I started binging her videos, so that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through the challenges first. Sorry, there was like dust, or oh, it is a gnat. I thought it was a gnat, and then I couldn't see it, and then I thought it was dust, and it's actually not gnat. So anyway, okay, so the 7 challenges, I'm gonna go through those, and then I'll show you my TBR and like what I'm reading for what. So the 7 challenges are: read a diverse fantasy book, a debut or backlist, start or continue in a series, a hype train fantasy, a second chance book, like maybe something you DNF'd, a different format than you're used to reading, or like if you're used to reading adult, read a YA, or if you're used to reading YA, read adult, that type of thing, or middle grade or whatever. And then number 7, I really like this challenge. It's to immerse yourself in the world by like a pamper session. So whether that's curling up, lighting a candle, you know, that type of thing, like setting the mood for your read, a bubble bath, a face mask, you know, all of that stuff. So I really like that challenge because it really has nothing to do with what book you're reading. It's just like taking time for yourself and immersing yourself in what you're reading and enjoying the experience outside of just reading the book. So I really like that challenge. Props to you ladies. Okay, so now let's get into what I am actually reading. So for the first 2, the diverse and the debut slash backlist, I'm actually going to read these bad boys by Renee Ahdieh. I'm going to reread The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. I have read this before. I believe I rated it 5 stars. And now I am going to reread it so I can continue in The Rose and the Dagger. I've had this book on my TBR for quite a while, and I think I just haven't gone into it because I've never really read this. So I'm gonna read, let's say, this for the diverse and this for the backlist. And since it's only a duology, if I manage to read both of these, then I will have completed that duology. And I just have this Wrath and the Dawn scarf that I always get asked about, and I just keep them around my books so they stay together. But I got this from like my uppercase box way back in the day. Okay, let's see. Oh, challenge number 3, to start or continue in a series. I'm starting the Dance of Thieves series by Mira E. Pearson. I absolutely loved her other series, and what was it called, the Remnant Chronicle series. I read all 3 of those books. I rated all of them 5 stars, I think. And I'm just so excited. I love her writing. I love her characters, and I'm just really excited to get into a new set of characters. The world seems the same, so it's just following different characters. Yeah. So it says, a stunning new adventure set in the kingdoms of the Remnant. A formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations. So yes, I'm excited to get back into it and like learn more about the world and the different like people in it. So that is to start in a series. Okay, now hype train, I'm going to read Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I've had this book since it released in 2016, so we're going on 3 years with this bad boy, and I put it on all kind of TBRs and I never get around to it. I actually have already purchased this on Audible because I was trying to push myself to read it, and in my most recent unhaul I was finally gonna unhaul it, but here I am giving it another chance. And to give a book a second chance, I'm gonna reread Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo to prepare myself to read Crooked Kingdom. So I do have a full review of Six of Crows already on my channel. I think I rated it like 3 stars or 2 stars or something. I didn't really like it because this is promoted as a heist story. Okay, let me back up. I don't like Leigh Bardugo's writing. It's just boring. And it's not like action packed at all. Like, it doesn't feel like anything's happening even though events are taking place. And I do like some of her characters, but never like the main character. And I don't know. I read the Shadow and Bone series. The first one was okay. The second one was crap. The third one was okay. Yeah, so maybe I liked the third one more. I think the first one was okay, the second one was crap, and the third one was my favorite. I don't know. It's been so long. I'm trying to block it out of my memory. So when I originally read this, it was promoted as like a heist story. Now heist, obviously, I think of heist and I think of like high action, intrigue, mystery, setting up a plot, breaking in, getting the gold or whatever, and like, you know, and the heist does not take place until pretty far into the story. It's all about setting up the characters and stuff, and there was only like 1 or 2 characters that I was really interested in, but she didn't go enough into it. I don't know, and it was just kind of weird about why they had to do this heist and stuff. And then the aftermath. Now I will say that it kind of, I liked the heist a little bit, but even though it wasn't as like high-packed actiony as I would have liked it to have been, but the after the heist, I don't know, like I had so many problems with this book, but there were certain aspects that I did like about it still. I don't know, I'm rambling, but basically I was not a fan of this book. However, I need to go back and reread this to refresh my memory, and so I can pick up this. And a lot of people like absolutely love this book, and I hope I do too. And I hope it like brings it all together for me, because let's be honest, these books are so freaking aesthetic. I can't even like help myself. So I'm like, these are kind of at the top of my priority list, kind of. So we shall see. Okay, now a different format, or like a different age range than you're used to reading. I picked up Wildwood, written by Colin Malloy. And he's the singer-songwriter of the Decemberists. And this just looks like so much fun. It has full-page illustrations, and it's about Prue's baby brother being abducted by a murder of crows. She goes to the edge of the woods in Oregon, and it kind of just goes from there. The wilderness, the locals call it the Wildwood. And it's just full of wonder, danger, and magic. And I don't know, I think it's just going to be like great, but it is middle grade, so that's not something I reach for often at all. The last book on my TBR, since there were 7 challenges, I chose 7 books, even though you don't have to read like a certain number of books. But the one I want to immerse myself in the world of is The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon. This is by far one of my favorite fantasy series. Obviously this is the 3rd book, so I've only read the first 2 books. I don't know why I'm slacking on reading this. I think it's just because I found out from the author that like she wasn't like publishing another book in the series for a while, and I think it's supposed to be like a 12-book series or a 7-book series, like some ungodly number. It wasn't going to be like a trilogy or anything. It's going to be a series, but like it was taking a while, and it took me a while to get to the bone season, but I was able to pretty much go right from the bone season to the mime order. And what I love about this fantasy world is this is a world that I never have to refresh myself from book to book. I vividly remember the characters, the world, what happened, and I don't know if that's just the writing or the story or the characters or a combination, but I've rated every single book 5 stars, I'm pretty sure, and I really hope that I love this one as well. It's the shortest of all of them, I'm pretty sure. The other ones are right over here. I should just grab them. Yeah, it's definitely the shortest so far. So I'm a little worried about that, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And I never forget anything about this world or the characters or the plot twists or any of that. I absolutely love it. So I'm able to go right into this one. And what I also love is I feel like kind of how they do, or how Saga does in that comic series, is that they always kind of remind you of what happened before, and that happened at least in the Mime Order. So I read the Bone Season, and then I didn't immediately go into the Mime Order, but I read the Mime Order, and I like didn't need a refresher. So that was really nice. So I'm gonna go into this one hoping that I don't need a refresher. I'm pretty sure I don't. I remember like everything that happened. So we shall see. But I'm really excited about this, and I already have it on Audible, so that should help as well. So those are the books that I plan to read for Fantasyathon. I normally would not participate in a readathon centered around fantasy books because fantasy is by far my least read genre, just because it's like not my favorite. But I do have some favorites in here like this, and I really liked The Wrath and the Dawn, so I'm hoping that I will like The Rose and the Dagger. But I am also rereading some books as well, so we'll see if my opinions change and stuff like that. I will be doing a vlog of sorts. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it since it's like 11 days and that's like a really long time, but I will link the creators down in, or the hosts down in the description box, the dates and all the information. Follow them on Twitter. I know they're doing a live show on April 7th, so it's like at the beginning of the readathon, and I believe it's going to be on Maddie's channel, but go watch their videos. They tell you obviously more about it, but I just wanted to share with you and let you know that this is my priority. We'll see what happens. Cross your fingers for me. Check in with me on Twitter and Instagram. Hopefully I'm reading Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!